back to the Built for the Trades channel. I'm Dan Dowdy, your host, the founder of Built for the Trades, where we help people develop in their leadership. We help trades business owners develop leaders, build self-operating businesses. Welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about the power of integrity in your leadership. And really, and when we talk about integrity, I want to dive into how to use integrity to build exceptional teams. Before we get started this morning, I wanted to give a shout out to our sponsor, Project to Payment. They are invoicing, estimating software that just streamlines the process from estimating the job to getting the job, creating that amazing customer experience every time. If you are interested in bringing that to your trades business, click the link below. You get the first few months free through Built for the Trades. So let's dive in. In the realm of leadership, there's really a few principles that just stand tall, and one of those is integrity. I mean, there's pivotal moments in our leadership where we're going to be up against a decision that we have to make, and we have to ask ourselves, are we going to do the right thing? Are we going to live by our core values? In this podcast, I'm going to talk about decision making with integrity, but I'm also going to talk about leading your team with integrity and what that looks like. So, as a technician in the field, no matter what trade you're in, there's going to be opportunities, there's going to be opportunities and decisions that you're going to need to make. I mean, I can remember as a young technician in the plumbing trade, being up under a house where nobody else can see me, insulating some water lines, and there's one place I just could not really reach. And I had to ask myself, am I going to live by my value of integrity and do the right thing even when no one's looking? Or am I just going to leave it and walk away from it? And I can tell you in my development, there's been times where I've done both. But over the years, I have learned to lean more into the integrity piece, even when no one is looking. It's the same thing in our leadership. We're owning or managing a business. There's going to be opportunities to decide, are we going to live by integrity, especially when it doesn't benefit you? If I was to line up 10 business owners and I asked all of them if they had integrity, I would think 100% of them will say, yes, I have integrity. But there's times as we navigate through our business and our leadership that we're going to be faced with a decision that does not benefit us. And that is the time when the integrity truly shines. It could be that time that you have to make a decision on whether or not you're going to pay your team member fully, even if they don't know it. Maybe it's a spiff that you committed to or that you were going to pay them. They didn't really know a whole lot about, but you have the option. Do I pay them and do I not? And maybe you decide to, or maybe you decide not to. There's so many different examples like that when it comes to your leadership. So I want to encourage you and remind you that anytime you're making a tough decision in your business, whether it benefits you now or not, living by the core value of integrity will always benefit you in the future. I want to encourage you that. So now when it comes to leading your team, integrity is huge. Integrity is a foundation that everything is built on. And there's a lot of things that we do as busy entrepreneurs that we don't even realize is losing integrity with our team members. We can pay team members to just be there and go through the motions and do the minimum. But to get a team member to truly want to be bought into your leadership, integrity and trust is the foundation there. So you may be watching this saying, Dan, I'm a very honest guy. I have great integrity. But let me spin it to you this way. A lot of times as business owners or managers, we commit to doing something for somebody. A good example of this would be telling a team member that starting next week, I'm going to sit down and do one-to-ones with all of y'all at least one time a month. Okay, you start off strong, right? You're motivated. You sit down, you do one-to-ones with all of them, but then the next month, something comes up and you only do one-to-ones with half of them. They start to question and say, is that person picking favorites? Do they not like me? And then the next month goes by and now you're unmotivated. The discipline should have kicked in and now you're unmotivated. You have so many other things that are way busier or way more important than doing one-to-ones. And at that moment, you start to lose trust because of the lack of integrity. Now, it wasn't on purpose. It wasn't like, yeah, I'm going to commit I'm going to commit to doing one-to-ones and not do it. It was just that life got in the way, and our emotional intelligence as a leader we didn't realize how it was going to affect our team. So what happens, right? Everything happens, life moves on, but the next time you ask them to do something, hey team, here's what I want y'all to do. Starting next week, we're going to start doing weekly trainings and we're going to add role play to it. And it's going to be awesome. What are they thinking in their minds at that moment? They're thinking, oh, just give Dan a couple weeks and he's going to forget about it. He's going to lose the motivation and he's not going to follow through with it. And so they're asking, and at that moment, they're saying, I'm not going to get uncomfortable and I'm not going to buy into whatever it is that, I'll just use myself, that Dan is bringing along to the mix. I'm sharing this message because I have been guilty of doing it just like that. There was a time in my life where I came back from a conference and I was so fired up and I told my team all the great things we were going to do, just to leave the meeting, walk around the building and see my technicians talking at the dumpster and just having a good laugh. And they were saying, oh, just give Dan a few weeks. He'll forget about this. You see, my leadership lacked integrity, but it wasn't an intentional integrity. It wasn't that I was a dishonest person. It was that I did not realize the impact it made leading people and not following through with my commitments. So as you think about this, as you watch this, I want to encourage you that less is more when it comes to committing to your team. If you want to do one-to-ones once a month, but you don't know that you can truly commit to once a month, do them once a quarter and do it consistently. That will keep your integrity intact. They will trust you. And then as you learn to manage your time better, you can prioritize, twice a quarter or once a month. Hope y'all enjoy this podcast. Remember that integrity is the foundation of everything you do in leadership. Please like and subscribe and share this with somebody else that you know could benefit from this video. And I'll talk to you next time.